the month. Look, it's the first of the month for real. Black History Month. It's so much going on, and we talking about coaching carousels. NFC East, they just doing a Cupid shuffle with some of their coaches. I mean, one franchise still looking for a coach. One franchise is getting held up by a defensive coordinator. It's a lot going on. Then you got another team that was just like, you know, we hate the Cowboys so much that we want to be just like them. And we're going to go out and get their offensive coordinator so we can see if our quarterback can do the same thing. And if you don't know which team I'm talking about, of course, I'm starting early with the early morning slander. And I got a few more things to talk about because they just needed a few more plays. Eagles go out and sign offensive coordinator. I mean, ex-Cowboys offensive coordinator, ex-Chargers offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, and they bring him in. Also with Vic Fangio to bring in their defensive coordinator. They're trying to do a whole revamp of the front office. So we got to really talk about this because, Joe, we in this division. Mm-hmm. You've seen Kellen Moore on the opposite end. I've seen Kellen Moore since he started his career in the NFL. Well, no, he started with Detroit, but when he started his real coaching career. And we got to say, do we like or dislike this move as Kellen Moore being the offensive coordinator? Y'all want me to start this one off? Or?
I would love to.
We got breaking news. Go ahead.
It's not really breaking news. It's Giants news. They're retaining their Mike Kafka, the OC Mike Kafka.
They what?
They're retaining Mike Kafka. He's coming back.
Let's go, y'all. That offense. As long as Danny Dimes is there, we know they're not gonna move the ball. Look at that. Good news. Good news.
I'm glad that they DC gone though. He causes us some problems every time he play them.
It's just, I think it's just the helmets, man. At this point, when it come to y'all, they personal. Yeah, man. Get out the chats, man. Get on the show because this is the moment you've all been waiting for. So look, Eagles went out and signed Kellen Moore, as you all know. And me being a Cowboy fan, I try to reach out to some of my Eagles fans and say, hey, man, look, Kellen Moore is not a bad offensive coordinator. He just doesn't have a pulse on an actual football game. He still has some growing pains. And coming from being a backup quarterback to being a quarterback coach to then being promoted to offensive coordinator, you're going to realize that that's going to happen. And also, you all were clowning us for years when Kellen Moore ran that draw play against the 49ers in the playoff game, which I was like, no, it's just the players. It's just the players. So let me give you the bright side of things because you all want to come to me. And I looked at it like this. And I'm going to give y'all one more analogy because I am going on a little tangent right quick. But we've all been in high school. We've all had girlfriends before, right? Now some of us have wives. And you look at it and be like, you start talking to her, then y'all break up and she move on. And then one of your homies be like, hey, man, wasn't that your girl last week? Like, why she over there with him? It's like, man, hey, look, man, I already know what we going to go through with her. So look, more better to him. Hopefully she becomes a better person while she's over there. But all I know is when she's with me, these are some of the flaws and things that I had to deal with. You have to come from a place of healing. And if you don't go into your next relationship healed, then it's just going to fail. And that's just how I look at it sometimes, right? Because Kellen Moore has not learned his lesson yet. If you watch what he did with the Chargers last year, a lot of people want to say, well, they had injuries. They dealt with this. They dealt with that. When he was with the Cowboys, he dealt with injuries as well. He also had a running back there too. He also had weapons. And some would say that Herbert is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Like as far as throwing the football, making the right reads, some would say that. Their offense kind of struggled just a little bit. And then some would also say, well, what about the Chargers defense? They didn't have that great of a defense. Do I need to remind you that the Cowboys weren't a top 10 defense for a majority of the years that Kellen Moore was there? Some people they forget about that. They just remember the Michael Parsons years. Football did not start in 2000. Just remember that, fellas. Those are some of the things that I just want to share with y'all. But some of his highs, top 5 offense, maybe 2 of the 4 years he was here. As far as passing, the rushing kind of declined just a little bit once the offensive line didn't do too much. You have Ezekiel Elliott there. That's a plus. Another thing with Kellen Moore is a lot of people are starting to talk about he uses the motion a lot. No, he don't. No, he don't. I'm sorry, guys. Don't fall for that. That's a banana in a tailpipe. He doesn't do it that much. Your offense is literally going to be under center, hand the ball off, a couple play actions here and there, but you're going to average 27.7 points per game. You may throw for almost 300 yards per game, so it's all going to look good. But when it comes down to those situational football, can he or show us that he's matured? i.e. Dan Campbell. I'll let you guys have the floor.
I'm actually shocked you didn't mention the backup quarterback part either, because remember that was said as well.
Him
As
being
far
about,
as far as Cooper Rush and him making the offense look
I can't say
elite
everything.
with Cooper Rush.
I can't say
Yeah.
everything. I gotta let you guys get a little bit.
I know you got more. You got more in the tank. I know you got more.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, you wanna go? All right. So, okay. So, do I think it's a good move? I don't know if it's a fair answer. To be determined, man. To be determined. All right. So, like, you know, we you know, I asked a few Eagle fans in the chat how they felt, and I listened to what they had to say. And then I did my own research, obviously, and see, okay, you know, and I took a look at what do I know before my research. Okay, this is what I know about Kellen Moore. This is what I know about Philly. Okay. Then I did research. Okay. I see this. Let me look at these other Eagle fans. I don't know how they feel. And Tomo, these Eagle fans are excited.
I mean,
They are excited.
I can
They
understand though.
like they are so excited. But like, and you said something key. What I didn't really know. All right, you said that Kellen Moore doesn't use emotion a lot. I saw a stat, right? And we all know the Eagles issue. They are so 2005-ish type of offense. Like they use no motion, none of that stuff, right? It said the QBs with the best QBR this year, while on plays that come with motion. Number one is your boy Dak Prescott. Number two is Brock Purdy. Number three is Jalen Hurts. Right? But they don't put in motion. They don't put the offense in motion a lot. And the Eagles had the worst percentage of plays in motion, which is 26. 26% of their plays they ran in motion. They had somebody go in motion. Which is crazy. You talk to the Dolphins or the 49ers, 100%, unless they hurry up to the line and try to get the flash off quick. Even when they try to hurry up to the line, they bring emotion.
Exactly.
So you saying that is kind of like I'm like, oh snap! I kind of like just kill everything I was thinking about this dude, right? And so, but my worries is what you said, Tomo. It's the situational part. And that's why I told the Eagles fans. I feel like, yes, the offense could be more dynamic. Yes, the offense could be more, it could be flying higher with big plays and stuff like that. But when it comes down like in the fourth quarter, I feel like Kellen Moore, yes, you might say Dak Prescott didn't show up. Yeah, we could say that, right? But on top of that, there are times when Kellen Moore will call a play in a crucial part of the game. And I'm just like, we all like, Kellen Moore, what are you doing? Even again, I can't even remember exactly what happened in your game. There were question marks like what are you doing?
On the Chargers game?
Yeah, Chargers game.
Yeah.
Right? So that's that right there. But I do want to say this though, before they go. Well, you know what? I'm gonna sit there around, circle back around. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. I'm also a little indifferent about this too. Because if you look at the numbers, he has been the top offensive coordinator as far as, when it comes to the passing game. But what are the Eagles known for? They're known for having a good running game to help out with the passing game. I don't think Kellen Moore's going to help out with that. I'm sorry. I don't think that's the case. And honestly, if you want to look at what we were saying this year about Jalen Hurts and the passing game, we said that he was throwing the ball too much. They weren't running the ball enough. And what did I get them? I got them to 11-6 and out the first round of the playoffs. Is that really what you want to see again? Because a Kellen Moore offense hasn't gotten past one win in the playoffs. And a lot of people say that's the players, but sometimes that also goes with the OC as well. The OC has to carry that weight too. The OC is the one that's calling the plays. He's the one that's putting those people in those positions. So, yeah, you gotta give him some of that as well. Now that's the reason why I say I'm indifferent about it, because it can be successful, but is Jalen Hurts going to be a lot better than he was last year? Is he going to be a better passer? Not saying that he can't pass the ball. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not calling him a running back. Yeah, I know someone else has said that, but not me. I'm not calling him a running back. But is this going to help his career? This is his third OC in 3 straight years. We know that having an OC for a different OC for 3 straight years doesn't help you. most of the good quarterbacks in the league had consistency, or at least have the same person calling offensive plays. If you go to Kansas City, you say, well, they had EB, they had so and so and so and so. Yeah, but Andy Reid has been there the entire time, so he still has some continuity there. If you look at Kyle Shanahan, yeah, he had Mike McDaniels, he had Bobby Slowick that was there, but Kyle Shanahan has been there, so he knows how the offense runs. When we talk about Mike Sirianni, we all Eagles fans say that he's terrible when it comes to calling plays. He don't need to call no plays at all. So you don't want him doing it. You had Shiken 2 years ago. Then you had Brian Johnson last year. Now you got Kellen Moore. Is there going to be continuity there? It's going to take a while for them to get used to this offense. So I think that's going to cause some issues in the beginning. I still think this is going to be a playoff team. I'm not saying that they're going to miss the playoff. I still think the Eagles will be a playoff team. I still think they're going to be a contender because of the roster that they have. Mm-hmm. You still got Jalen Hurts. You still got a good offensive line, even if Jason Kelce doesn't come back. But he's saying that he might because he sees his brother in the Super Bowl. But just in case he doesn't come back, I still think your offensive line will still be good because you still got Lane Johnson over there. You still got some good offensive pieces there. But the biggest thing is your defense. For me, that's the biggest thing that needs to improve is your defense. With Vic Fangio there might be an improvement, but are the players that you have in position going to be able to help out with the scheme that he's going to have running? But as far as Kellen Moore being there, he's going to have Jalen Hurts throwing the ball more than he has in his career. I think that's the case. And if he's throwing the ball more, is that really going to help out? Because he threw the ball more last year, and that didn't help him out. He actually had more turnovers last year throwing the ball more. So is that what you really want in Philly? If so, then I hope he developed better as a passer. As far as him being able to make the right decisions and throw a little bit more accurately and just like I said, just make right decisions. If it's not happening, then I don't think you should expect anything different from what you had last year.
That's a fact.
Well, this season that just happened just now.
No, that's a fact. Go ahead, Joe. You said you were gonna say something before.
Real quick, Eagles fans are probably upset. CJGJ, Gardner, right? Made it to the NFC Championship game. They got bounced in the first round. Gardner Minshew made it to the Pro Bowl, and Jalen Hurts did. It's crazy, but
Jalen Hurts replaced Brock Purdy. So
he's an alternate. Okay, so him and Gardner Minshew are alternates. Okay, How ironic is that? All right, but real quick, one thing I will say though, they threw the ball a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Now this year is up to if the Eagles flop, you got to put it on Sirianni because they're supposed to blend the offense, right?
Yeah,
we know Kellen Moore by himself.
Mm-hmm.
His scheming is pretty good, though. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like he'll get guys open.
It's not bad at all.
So Jalen Hurts will be more productive. So the issue wasn't really he's throwing the ball too much. It's look at the routes you got these dudes running, throwing the ball too much. Like what the heck? Oh, go ahead, Tomo.
Now that is where it's going to get interesting because last year when Dak threw the 15 interceptions, well, the year before last, because our season is over. So the year before last, when he threw the 15 interceptions. A lot of people was coming out and they were saying Kellen got these guys running too many option routes. You're giving them too many options in an offense where it's like if 4 people going to the middle of the field. Remember that Green Bay game where you threw the interception and both CD and the tight end was right there?
Yeah.
That was an option route. They both had the option to run somewhere. And it was just like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things too, where you blend too much of this offense. Are you all going to make the right read at the right time? So like Dave said, they are going to be growing pains. And I give it to you. Like Kellen's going to make sure that you all put up the numbers and you have the stats because at the end of the day, if I'm an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, stats is going to get me a job. Not the actual end results of these games as a coordinator is like, well,
it's on the head coach.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're in Dallas, it's on your quarterback. But that's another story for another day, right? So I can put up these numbers, and this is why Kellen is on his 3rd job. Look how many offensive coordinators who were in his same position that put up these same amount of numbers, and how many job offers have they been given? Like technically, if you look at what happened with the Chargers, some people will say, nah, I'm okay. Like we can go find somebody else. We'll probably go find a Ben Johnson or, hey, Nick, No, they don't trust him. I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say we trust you enough to put something out there, but nah, they don't. So as far as your running game, Philly, it's gonna change. You're gonna be more of a finesse team, and like everyone on this panel was saying, is Kellen going to be able to switch it, or are you all prepared as a fan base to go that route? Because you all were mad this season when they did it. So here's another season of what's to come. Also, hey, Blaze, I know you probably working out. If you ever say that was top tier play calling again when Cooper Rush was out there, you are insane. All right. You talking about a quarterback who averaged 6 points a game, and that's top tier play calling. Oh, no, that was top tier defense. That's what that was.
It's funny because Tomo, I was like, hey, yo, Tomo, how you feel about this? He said, if they like it, I love it. I was like, that's a great answer. Look,
Hey.
to piggyback on that statement right here before we roll out, just to bring the trolling into the scenario, all right? This is a crazy situation for Dak and Jalen Hurts, for the fan base at least. These guys probably don't care, right? But if the Eagles progress in this offense and get back to a Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts look awesome, then people gonna be like, man, look, Dak was the reason. It was Dak. Dak was the reason.
They are. But
if they flop, kind of similar we saw part, let's say the Cowboys, or even last year, they fought last year, then the Cowboys gonna be like, I told y'all. I told y'all. So I'm excited to see this season play out.
Also, it's not even just the quarterbacks. Mike McCarthy got something to do with it too. Because if Kellen goes there and the Eagles do make it to the Super Bowl based upon all offense, a lot's gonna be looked at. Hey, Mike, I know you won the Super Bowl, but you said the scapegoat thing that everybody want to talk about with Kellen Moore in Dallas. They're gonna start to look and say he was a scapegoat, but he just took this team like. And some people would say the Eagles regressed a little bit last season. Dak had his best season as a quarterback. Hurts coming off a season he had. If he goes back in the MVP conversation and typically is like a number 2 voter, I'm like, hey man, was it? And I ain't mad at it.
Keenan Allen probably had his best year last year.
Oh, one of your guys is gonna have their best year. You better hope it's that guy, because if it's the other guy,
it's gonna be Smitty.
See, then it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. Hey, Dez, Amari, better let AJ know, man. You better get on that good side, because I'm telling you, once the ball start going to the tight end and the other guy,
it's mainly because if you look at their best, the players, AJ Brown is more like Mike Williams than he is Keenan Allen as far as like his route running and everything like that. Smitty's Smitty's more comparable to Keenan Allen. So if you look at how Kellen Moore's going to run the offense, it caters towards Smitty all the way. It doesn't cater towards AJ Brown.
Yeah, I can see, because his route runner is really good. So he's gonna be able to let him go to work.
See, the positive thing though, if you are AJ Brown, and Eagles fans, I'm gonna give you this tidbit, is if AJ Brown is who I think he is and who he reminds me of, your red zone targets are gonna go up. AJ, you could be that Dez Bryant in the red zone. Just throw it up and he gonna go get it. So that's a positive. The tush push may go, but the fade route may go up. So AJ may be happy in that instance.
Dang.
I think as long as Sirianni is there, the tush push ain't going nowhere.
Jason Kelsey, he was a big factor on that tush push.
But that also depends if they ban it or not, because they're still talking about that too.
Well, they might not ban it now because it ain't helping last year. It ain't helping this year. So.
Yeah, and Carl, I know you're gonna be upset, but Josh Allen using it now, so they definitely not gonna ban it. They definitely not. They're like, nah, we gotta get my man to the Super Bowl. Go ahead, keep running that play, Josh.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.